Right then, Spencer, big night at the weekend. Richard Riakporhe, Fabio Turchi. We'll talk about some of the undercard in a couple of moments, but let's start with the main event. Richard, he's a man, he looks the part, he talks the part. I look at the knockout power and I just think that this guy has everything that you need to be a superstar in boxing. Or am I putting a little bit too much pressure on a guy too soon?
No, I think you're right in what you say. You know, Richard Riakporhe is all about the story. He's got an incredible story. His background, where he came from, we all know that now. It's all well documented. But he can fight, you know, and he delivers. And I think that he is right on the verge of boxing for that world title. I think we get one more fight here against Fabio Turchi, which is a tough fight, not to be underestimated. Turchi's only lost once, and that was a split decision to Tommy McCarthy. That's the only common opponent they both got. Yeah. You know, Richard Riakporhe knocked Tommy McCarthy out in 4 rounds, but going into that fight, it was a 50-50. That was like a coming-of-age fight for Riakporhe. So, look, a lot on the line, but I think after this fight, Riakporhe comes through this, which I expect him to, because stylistically, Turchi's made for him. He likes to come forward. Anyone that goes forward at Richard Riakporhe is in trouble. So I think it's a good fight for Riakporhe, and I can see a fight with, although this is an IBF eliminator, I know that Boxer are in talks with WBC champion Makabu, who's now getting on a little bit. That timing could be good there, and I think Riakporhe comes through this one. We could possibly see Riakporhe Makabu later on this year. That's sort of a prediction that I see, but I think whatever happens, world title shot after this one for Riakporhe. I think he's done that apprenticeship. The development stage has been done. I think he's now gained that confidence that was maybe lacking in Riakporhe. We always know he's had the ability, he's got the size, he's got the power, but maybe lacks a little bit of confidence. I think that's come in more recent times. Southpaw last time, Dion Juma, come through that fight really well. Another Southpaw here tonight, and that's what I'm saying. Is this all for that fight against Makabu, who's a Southpaw as well? And people that might not recognise Makabu's name, he was the one at Goodison Park that Tony Bellew won that title famously in the 3rd round, knocked Makabu out. Makabu come with that fearsome record of 20 fights, 20 knockouts or something like that, and Bellew pulled off a big win then as the underdog. So yeah, that's where I see Riakporhe going. I think that's where the fight could go, but he's got to come through Turchi first, which is a tough fight.
And we do have to keep stressing that, to not look beyond him. But I'm then going to completely contradict myself and then say Lawrence Okoli, Spencer. It's a name that keeps being mentioned when we talk about Richard Riakporhe. They're 2 top cruiserweights. They're both fighting up the heavyweight division, but before they do that, they kind of need to conquer this division first. I mean, if that fight was to happen, you know, you're talking potentially Makabu next, but if it is Okoli, that'd be an absolutely huge all-British fight, wouldn't it?
I don't see that fight. It'd be a massive British fight, a huge fight, and I think that Okoli's established himself now as a good world champion. Riakporhe, I believe, will have that title sometime this year, and I don't think the fight with Okoli happens until Riakporhe's either got the IBF, which is held by Marius Bradus, but this is the eliminator for, or whether he's got that WBC, because I know they're in talks with making that fight with Makabu for the WBC, and I don't think that fight would happen unless it was a unification bout. But I believe it's a reality, because I believe that Riakporhe does win a world title. You know, I don't know what Marius Bradus is doing at the moment. I know he's the IBF champ, as I said. He's been talk of him moving up to heavyweight, or Riakporhe will get his opportunity against him, or there's other options, like say Makabu. So there is options for Riakporhe. I do believe he wins a world title, and I do believe then we get that unification bout. Then we've got a serious fight on our hands, an exciting fight, because you know, in recent times we've seen how good Lawrence Okoli's looked, but Riakporhe as well. He's growing in stature. He's improving all the time.
I think Marius Bradus, last time I saw him, was it getting a tattoo for Jake Paul?
Yeah. He's chasing a lot of people at the moment, Marius Bradus, isn't he? But he seems to be wanting to go down that YouTube route for some weird reason. Yeah, he was getting a tattoo of. Yeah, he's got this. He's obsession with Jake Paul, isn't he? It's a little bit strange, mate. A very strange one, but he can fight, Marius Bradus. People may or may not know he boxed Alexander Usyk and pushed Usyk to the wire. He lost a split decision to Usyk in the World Boxing Super Series final. So, you know, he's a serious campaigner. I think that's the only fight he's lost, actually. So, again, a good, solid champion. But depending on where he goes, sort of depends on what Richard Riakporhe does, really. Because it's either him or Makabu for Riakporhe next. That's what I believe.
Just another one on Riakporhe. Speaking to Johnny Nelson earlier, he was in the ring sparring, doing pads with Richard the other week, and he's felt the power of Riakporhe. Now, we spoke about it a lot, but Johnny knows a big hitter when he feels one and he sees one. And he compared him, Spencer, to Deontay Wilder in terms of that punch power. But he said he's a better boxer than Deontay Wilder. I mean, can Richard step up to that heavyweight division and make an impact there as well? Or again, am I just looking too far ahead?
No, you're not looking too far ahead. I think what we've done in this interview is we're painting the whole picture. We're looking at all sort of angles and possibilities where Richard could go as a fighter, whether he goes WBC, whether he goes IBF, whether he goes heavyweight, but all those are possibilities. All in time though. I think Riakporhe may possibly develop into a heavyweight. And he could be a good heavyweight. Listen, when I do Riakporhe fights, and we're going to do it on Saturday night, you guys will see when you're sitting at ringside, Riakporhe's got that power, and to explain what that power sounds like, to give you an analogy of that power, when Anthony Joshua boxes and you're at ringside, when he hits, you sort of feel a vibration through the floor. Does that make sense? You feel this vibration. Riakporhe's got that power, that you hear this like, pow! You hear this snap
just by hearing it.
Just by the sound of it. It's different. You just go. I'm sitting at ringside, and I don't mind seeing someone get a little clump here and there, and I'm sitting there going, oh, how about, that must, because it's that sound, man. It's got that unusual sound that you only ever hear very occasionally, where you go, wow, that's different power. It's got that snap as well as the power in it. It's got the snap in the shot as well. Riakporhe is a seriously heavy-handed guy, and now I'd say he's grown in that confidence as well. Yeah, I can see Riakporhe winning world titles at cruiserweight and moving up to heavyweight. That is not beyond his reach. He's got the stature to be able to do that. He's got the frame to be able to do it.
Yeah, no, Spencer, look, dead excited for this one at the weekend. I'm sure you'll be there and enjoying it and watching it too. And Richard Riakporhe, I think we'll be talking world titles, fingers crossed, very, very soon.
Absolutely. Listen, I think Riakporhe comes through on Saturday night against a very tough campaigner in Turkey, and I think he wins it inside the distance. I'm predicting between rounds 6 and 8. 6 and 8. And I think he's going to do it in style. That sets up that world title fight. And the future's bright for Richard Riakporhe.